Shalom, this is Truth is Everlasting, Lion's Den. I am Yahweh Sop. I camp out with Lion Den Hawan Ben Yashua in Jacksonville, Florida. But first I have to give a prayer to the Father, to the Son, to the elders, to the Akims, and to the women and children around the world. In ancient Hebrew language. Kal Halayim La Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Bahashem Ha-Rokat Wadash Mahama, in the name of Yahweh Shai, in spirit and holy and in truth. Double honors to the 144,000 chosen elect, double honors to the elders of GMS, double honors to my elder Hawam. Salutations to the Akins who are on the four corners of the earth, and to the women and children, Shalom. Okay, well, so many things every day happening, you know. This video popped up on my screen. So, breakdown. DOJ, I'm not going to tell you what it means, they're going to tell you. Close Phoenix PD probate retracts findings. Has to do with the police departments all over America, by the way. And yes, things are going to get worse. The title of this lesson, A Injustice World, right? Injustice means lack of fairness or justice. So let me pray a little bit, and then we go into scripture. Here we go.
Week involving the future of policing, not only in Arizona, but also across America. That is because the U.S. Department of Justice made an announcement on Wednesday about their civil rights investigations of police departments. They've now decided that they're closing all of those investigations and they're rescinding the findings in places like Phoenix. I'm ABC 15 senior investigative reporter Melissa Blasius.
And I'm ABC 15 chief investigator Dave Biskobing. And, you know, Melissa, I think everybody knew this was coming. But I guess getting to that day and having it happen, it still felt surprising in its own way, especially the decision to just basically take this 100-some page report and just toss it. I guess, you know, from the people you spoke to yesterday, what was kind of their reaction to the idea, not only that they were shutting it down, but essentially erasing the findings?
Sure. Well, a lot of the people that I talked to yesterday were people who had lost a loved one in an officer-involved shooting or had been arrested, they believe, unjustifiably by Phoenix police. And so they were telling me yesterday when this announcement came out on Wednesday that they were heartbroken. Some of them were crying on the phone as they talked to me because they really felt that the Department of Justice, when they investigated Phoenix police, when they came out with their findings that found a pattern or practice of civil rights violations, that they had a powerful ally. And for once that someone believed what they were saying and agreed with them that there had been constitutional violations.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, some of what I've heard is that people were like, okay, I sat down, I went through this, what happened to me was bad, but then I was willing to take this extra risk or this step to work with the Department of Justice, speak to them, and then they feel like, was this all for nothing, right? I don't know if expectations were necessarily extremely high, but now to have it basically be entirely undone, the feeling is, what was it for, right? And that's a lot of what I heard from people as well.
Well, and you've been talking to people for several months now about what they expected to be a reversal in this report with the change of administration. What had you been hearing, and what did the Trump administration say yesterday?
I mean, well, you know, the Trump administration says, well, you know, it's a factually inaccurate report. We're taking it away, right? It's not. I mean, you know, a lot of what in here is stuff that we've reported on before. What happened is absolutely true, and a lot of the findings in this report are just irrefutably true. But, you know, I think what I heard from a lot of people and what always struck me through the process is, I mean, look at the date of the report when it came out, June 13, 2024. It took them almost 3 years to release this, and then they did. And then nothing happened for months and months and months, and it got all the way to the election, and President Trump won the election. And it was like, so if the DOJ released this report, why wasn't it ready to actually take action? So Phoenix balked, right? They said, well, we're not going to sign any agreement. We're not going to agree to any oversight. Let's play this out. And the DOJ came out when they released this report and said, no, this is a department that can't police itself. and then they weren't prepared to do anything. I guess that just was really confusing to a lot of people, is if you've had 3 years to put this together and you knew you're going to be releasing what's considered one of the worst, if not the worst reports they've ever put out.
Glass,
Slovakia,
it
you know,
connects
this with
you to the
YouTube.
outside world,
Give me a minute.
transforms the bland into the beautiful. For nearly one.
It's considered one of the worst, if not the worst reports they've ever put out. What? Why did you just wait? Like, was this part, like, was there no plan or thought? Why go through all this effort then just to wait and then eventually have this taken away, right? And so I guess
Okay, let me just stop it right there. But as you can see, you know, the power that are in this wicked world are breaking laws left and right. So it's not going to stop. It's just going to grow and increase, right? I want to go to Leviticus chapter 19, verse 15. And it says, Ye shall do no unrighteousness in judgment. Thou shalt not respect the person of the poor, nor honor the person of the mighty, but in righteousness shalt thou judge thy neighbor. Well, they're not doing that in this wicked world, people in power, the Edomites, right? There's too many hands in the cookie jar and too many big, mighty corporations, right? The ones that really control the governments today, right? Because the governments are nothing but puppets, okay? And now realizing that the police department is gonna, you know, what's the word? I think it was called immunity, but there's another word I don't remember right now. Qualify immunity or immunity, something like that, Slovakia. So, yeah, things are gonna get worse. Second Chronicles, give me a minute. I wanna go there. But you know, Scripture already made it clear that these things have to happen in order for the Son, right? The true King of heaven and earth, Yahweh Shai, should come back. Chapter 19, verse 7. Wherefore now let the fear of Yahweh Shai be upon you. Take heed and do it. For there is no iniquity, right, no sin, with Yahweh Shai our power. No respect of person, no taking of gifts, right? Taking a bribe. Boy, do they do that a lot. Corporations, right? Giving gifts to the government. And on top of that, the government taking our taxpayers' money, right? And doing whatever they want. You know, on top of that, doing things that go against us, right? The middle class and the poor. You see? Then we go to Acts chapter 10, verse 34. Let's see now here. Give me a minute. So that's crazy. Then Peter opened his mouth and said, Of a truth, I perceive of Yahweh is no respecter of persons. And this is what the people in power and the big corporation and banksters don't like about us. They don't like the Hebrew Israelites, right? We are different shades of color. We are not black to begin with. And they don't like when we use scripture, but yet when they use scripture, it's okay, right? It's not even their book. It does not belong to them, right? It was only given to 12 tribes, the so-called Negros, Latino, American, and Speckled Bird. It was an inheritance that our Father, through His Son, our King, our big brother, passed on to us, right? So they call us haters. When we're really reading from Scripture, we're not haters. We hate evil, we hate wickedness. That's not a bad, wicked thing. That's a righteous thing. Verse 35, but in every nation, he that fears him and works righteousness is accepted with him. You know, we're living in 2025. No one, and I'm talking about, when I say no one, middle class and poor, can say that the government, you know, are righteous. They have not, you know, proven that. Never did, never will. Okay? I want to go to Psalm 15. Give me a minute. Chapter 15, I believe it is. Yes, verse 1. Yahweh Shai, who shall abide in thy tabernacle? Who shall dwell in thy holy hill? Verse 2. Right, holy hill, who's going to, be in charge of the state, right? He that walks uprightly and works righteousness and speaks the truth in his heart, in his mind. And what is the truth? Well, the truth is that there's 613 laws, right, which we cannot apply in this wicked world because these laws are perfect, right? We can only do some of them, and still, to the best of our ability only. Only when we have the perfect body with the perfect spirit can we do those laws. But you don't see the people in power today, the Edomites, talking about that, applying that, right? They make so many rules and laws, it's impossible for us to remember or keep all of them to begin with, right? I want to go to, well, let me jump to verse 5, Slakia. He that puts not out his money to usury, not take reward against the innocent. He that do these things shall never be moved. Right? They don't do none of these things, but our government does all that. They take bribe, right? They boy, do they do a lot of usury, right? They owe money to the whole world, right? And when they lend us money, the bankers, they always charge us interest, right? So, and then invisible taxes on top of that. It just keeps on going. I'm going to go to Job chapter 5, verse 16. So the poor has hope. See, we have hope. And iniquity stops her mouth. Yeah, doesn't like when we speak the truth in the name of Yahweh Shai, right? I mean, every president has to put their hands on the Bible and take the oath, right? But they only do that acting because the book does not belong to them, right? That's their way of deceiving the world and blaspheming the true living God. That's all they're doing. I want to go to Job chapter 11, verse, let's see, give me a minute. I'll start with verse 14. If iniquity, sin be in thy hand, put it far away, and let not wickedness dwell in thy tabernacle. Well, they're always, day and night, right, doing wickedness. They don't stop, right? Now with technology and AI, I mean, they're going full speed ahead, right? I want to go to Psalm 101. Let's see if I can find 101. Oops, give me a minute. I want to go to verse 3. I will set no wicked thing before my eyes. I hate the work of them that turn aside. It shall not cleave to me. Right? Cleave to me, Slakia. So there's no way that our people, the so-called Negros Latinos and Speckled Bird, keep thinking that the people in power, what they're doing is righteousness. When the whole world, right, has come out and said that, listen, the West Side, keeps doing its wickedness around the world, right? They want to have military base all over the world. Yet, if another country is going to do that over here, they're going to say what? No, it never happened, right? I want to go to Psalm 97. Give me a minute. See if I can turn this real quick. Verse 10. Oops, almost. Yea, that loves Yahweh Shai hates evil. He perceives the souls. He preserves the souls of his saints. He delivers them out of the hands of the wicked. Right? Those that are doing his work in the name of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, he's watching over us. Now, of course, he decides which of us, have to walk that extra mile onto death, right? Some of us are going to die. Some of us are not going to die. It is what it is. Don't our people, the so-called Negros, Latino Americans, and speckled birds, don't they go in the army around the world and they give their life to protect and defend the Edomites? Well, same attitude, right? Except that we don't have an army and we don't carry weapons and go around the world, plundering and stuff like that. We just speak the word in the name of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. So, I'm going to leave it with that verse. I'll repeat it again. Verse 10. Yea, that loves Yahweh Shai hates evil. He preserves the souls of his saints. He delivers them out of the hand of the wicked. So, things are going to get worse. As you can see what it said right here. And this is a news ABC 15. Okay? So, that's how serious things are going to get. I hope that this was edifying. And with that I say, Shalom.